The advent of very sophisticated means of communication, especially social media, has had a tremendous impact upon our society. Much of it is for good. You can communicate with people. You can attend classes. You can share ideas via the Zoom and other forms of social media. On the other hand, it has created problems because it is an outlet for many people to express their hostility and to practice aggression and shaming of people. It's especially a problem for younger people, for teenagers, and even for younger children that utilize. There's all kinds of problems associated with it. Any advance in the world of technology can be, it's not good, it's not bad. It depends on how it's used. For me, it's a wonderful thing because I'm able to give classes to people in Israel, to people in the United States, and I'm able to listen to classes and communicate. So it could be a wonderful thing. On the other hand, it can be a tool that can really bring about great harm. Especially children are very sensitive to the phenomenon of being shamed, embarrassed publicly, and this can even lead to serious depression and suicide. It's important. Judaism has something to say about this, and that is the Torah is very demanding in terms of how we treat others, not just physically, but verbally. Insulting people, what's called verbal oppression, is a biblical prohibition. You're not allowed to do that. And people don't think about it that way. You can't, quote, rank somebody out, make the person feel bad. Certainly you can't shame him and embarrass him. The Torah says that if you embarrass a person publicly, you don't have a share in the world to come. That's how serious it is. Of course, a person can do tshuva. For any avera, he can do tshuva, he can repent. But it's very, very difficult, especially when it's a sin against your fellow man, especially when you've hurt him badly, because in order for you to repent before God, you have to solicit his forgiveness. Yeah, and you can't just apologize. He may not accept it. You've got to keep going until you're able to solicit his forgiveness. Then you repent before God. So that's a very, very difficult challenge. And therefore, it's a good idea not to sin against people. It's a good idea not to sin at all, but we're human. We have failings. But the Torah provided us with a way in which we can rectify things. It's much more difficult when you really trampled on somebody else's feelings. It's a very serious matter. In fact, there are those authorities who say that one must prefer, if it came to that a person should rather die than embarrass somebody else publicly. Now, not everybody agrees on that because they say that it's akin to murder, which I can understand from a psychological standpoint. There's nothing more important to a person than his public image, than what people think of him. And when you trash him and embarrass him publicly, that can have such a strong reaction that the person can commit suicide. So it's the kind of thing that we need to be thinking about. And it's a real shame in terms of our society. There was just a case the other day. 2 teenagers got into a fight, 2 girls, and one of them was just beat the hell out of the other one. And the other one now last I heard, was in critical condition. So there's a tremendous amount of aggression out there, and we need to emphasize how important it is to train people to be able to control their aggression, to be involved in positive projects, and to use their energies for positive purposes, and to remember how serious it is. And parents have to emphasize this. It's adults as well that engage in these types of activities. The Jewish people have to be a light unto the nations and teach everybody how important it is to respect everyone. We have to respect everyone. Doesn't mean we have to agree with them, and we have to control the impulse to defame other people because we don't like them. That's how we feel, but we can't live according to our feelings because we live in the presence of the creator of the universe.